Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and you know that I'm famous for building a bunch of very powerful decks that have nothing to do with the Tier 1 meta, and then winning with them. So that's how I played, even in paper before I started this channel. Why would I stop now? So right now, I mean, all the popular decks, the top 10, let alone the top, 3 from the last tournament, which, oh my gosh, look at the last tournament results. Holy crap, you want to see a pile of just disgraceful garbage, just overpowered, gimmicky, 4-creature, just trash. Wow. I mean, just looking at the results makes me sick. Anyway, so I thought, well, what can I build that would just devastate the net deckers right now? So I'd say a true assassin deck is not possible because the different decks that people are winning with are too varied. You can't just say, oh yeah, that stupid Goblin Rush deck. Yeah, let's build something that beats that. Back in the day, there have been times where 2 or 3 decks were popular and that's it. And those were the ones anybody played. Right now, it's quite a few, and they're all very, very overpowered and broken because Wizards printed a very high variety of very pushed cards. So I wanted something where you just keep it simple. It's a simple concept, and you absolutely just rip them apart with a very basic all-in concept. And honestly, Troll was it, and I built this months ago. But I thought, well, I'm sick of playing this. It takes 30 minutes to win. The win rate of this deck is 85%. It's unreal. I honestly think that mine's a little bit tighter and more consistent and more like a better match for the meta than the Troll decks you see right now, like the 3-color ones. It's a little bit slower, but it's more likely to win. That's the way I'd put it. Strangely, I've been getting really good results with my mono blue deck, which I don't think I even updated this for Ikoria. All my oldest decks are doing better. Same with Complete Ass Cancer. And then obviously mono white life gain. Duh, that's how I got to Mythic. But we got some prototypes here, but they didn't do as well as Nope. And it assigned Duress to be the artwork to the front, and I thought, that's pretty fitting. I'm going to keep that. So that's the deck we're looking at today. This is the most keep it simple, just, pretty light on wild cards, not too many mythics or rares in here. You could probably build it. A lot of older cards. You probably have these cards unlocked anyway. But yeah, check it out. We got discard, Death Touch Win Con. I mean, could you really say win con? Emergency blocker / discard. Discard. Kill. Discard / win con. Both, actually, yeah. Removal and discard. Plus graveyard clearing, because why the hell not? Then we've got win con. We've got discard. We've got removal. Amazing win con. More people need to play this card. And just a little backup, insurance policy. You could probably pull him, honestly. I probably should. It'd be better to just put in another Mind Rot or something. He just left over because I like him. And then Rankle, which is the whole damn deck in one card. So, and plus recurring triggers. Amazing. I mean, the problem is you usually can't make them sack something because they have more creatures than you and you just end up sacking him. Then we got just 4 Locthwains and a bunch of swamps. So there you go. That is 20 land. Oh, that don't seem right. You know what? Too bad, Nightmare. There we go. Got to be 21. Because you got to get to 3, and that's 21 is the crossover where they'll stop prioritizing. What is it? One drop or two mana? I don't remember. Your lands will get screwed up if you run less than 21. Let's put it that way. So this is probably the quickest deck I possibly could have done. You guys see what it does? It's way more valuable to see it in action. So let's do that. Now, I'll warn you right now, this guy lost because he had an exceptionally pathetic opening hand. So, he probably should have mulliganed. I don't know that he didn't. No, he didn't. Okay. Well, he goes first and he's running Red Rush. So, if I could beat that, hey, the deck's okay, But he gets a little bit land flooded. Just a little bit. But this deck, I've beat a full-blown, ideal red start with it before. So, okay, you got a second spitter because the shuffler's a piece of shit. All right. We got Duress. So there we go. I already made him ditch a card. Here's the second one. So I'm going to be looking for anything that can assist him. Oh, there we go. Skewer the critics. Now, see, that's weird. He's running a really funny version of this. I've seen people do it, but it's odd. I think this might be more Cavalcade than traditional Red Rush, but whatever. It's all the same garbage in my opinion. So there's Burglar Rat. Boom. He's out of cards with 1 card in play that I can kill. So it's basically over for him, but he has a draw spell. I mean, lucky him, I guess. There's my game winner. That card, boy, they really made a mistake with that card. Gotta change the cat to black-ish. Purple, black, whatever. I gotta do it. I'll just take the damage because I know he ain't gonna get no more damage. And then there's a life gainer. So instead of waiting for something to remove and doing 2 more damage myself, I'm just like, let's go. First, hit the gas. Let's do, a bunch of damage next turn. And then second, let's start gaining some damn life. So then he's got the Spitter. So this is obviously like an all-in Torbrand deck. He never got it off the ground enough for me to prove what it is, so I got some options with Liliana as being a sack-based kill spell for 2 at instant speed. So he lets them all through, which is insane, but he knows, okay, I'm at 10, maybe he could do something about it with risk. He knows that I'll take another 4, but that's why I threw down Midnight. Very smart decision. But he is in deep, deep, deep trouble with that Knight right there. That Knight, if you don't get rid of that Knight in a couple turns, you'll just lose. He will do the majority of your life total damage by himself as a 1 mana creature. What a disgrace to the game. Seriously, he was the beginning of the power creep, and now we've got, M21. And look at the state of Ikoria. So I swing again. I think he's just like, you know what? So instead I draw in the middle of it because I thought it would be really funny to pull something to like screw with them in the middle of combat. I don't know what it would be though, but yeah, just another Burglar Rat. I just said screw it, drop it in, I could have waited, but whatever, I won. Next up, we have, unfortunately, a fairly amateurish white life gain deck. Very not optimized, very old school. I wish I had a better opponent, but, well, you'll see how quick it takes off. So there's that. It's just... neither of these games, that was not typical Red Rush, and this isn't typical White Life Gain, but he did go first, and I blew the bird away, so there you go. So now we got Daxos, whatever, cool, so I thought, okay, Pilfering Imp, that'll be cool, because I can handpick something like Heliod. I think you can choose Heliod, because he's an enchantment and a creature, or does it say non-creature? I don't remember. I don't know, whatever. So then we've got a Death Toucher, so he's just, what is he going to do? He's going to lose one of them. I hate it when people throw Death Touchers in the way of my White Life Gain deck because I'm going to lose into Johnny's at some point. It's that simple. So then we got the dude gaining 1 counter in the air every single turn. Now, obviously, he can out-counter me, especially with Oprah out, on a Johnny's Pride Mate, but I've still got the Death Toucher. And he tried to bait me into using the Death Toucher as if I'm that damn stupid. I did Menace Death Touch so that if he's dumb enough to double block me, I take both of them with me. Because he's just all about remove the most amount possible. Now, if it was Red Rush, I'd put in Life Gain. I'd do probably Lifelink Menace. So now he's got Gideon's Company, which in my opinion is too expensive for the deck, but like, look at this. Woo-hoo. And I got to block that. I don't have an option. So... Grim Dancer has still got Death Touch, though, so, we're doing some damage here. So then we got Rankle, which I find hilarious. I think I just make him ditch a card. Yeah, it's each player. Well, Surprise Princess, I don't have one. Boom, Mr. Fly Guy gets another one. He just swings all out, because why not? And he's about to lose at 17-17. So he's still getting a lot of life. He's at 21, and we both have 1 card in hand. That's where Locthwain comes in. Boom, Vicious Rumors. There goes your Soul Mender. Let's go. And then I think I just say, you know what? I don't want him to have either of those. So I'm willing to get rid of Rankle to get rid of one of those. And now if he swings, he's going to lose her, and he's back at 0. I can, come back quicker with my lands. That's it. I still swing, though. That was questionable, but I thought, well... I'm hoping I pull something. I got 2 shots at it, and I did. I pulled removal. So there you go. Then I pulled the win con. I can just sit on him now, except that it turns out it's 7 damage in the air. So there you go. So that decision to go blitzing and hit him, it was questionable, but it did work. I wasn't going to sit there forever and let him rebuild an insane board state. If the next thing he pulled was Heliod, I'd lose. So I thought, well, let's go. Let's do it. I'll pull a removal later, and I did. So bit of a gamble, bit of a debatable decision there. Worked out. And yeah, that's this deck. It's just you get rid of the biggest threats. You got to know the decks to run this, especially if you're choosing the card to get rid of. You just melt their hand away to the point where they have nothing but their starters. Nobody can get like a 3-4 mana on-up combo going half the time unless they're really lucky. And then you just play cleanup with your Death Touchers and whatever else you got in play. Chump block, buy time with your Rat, your Flyer. And they just start the game with so little, they can never get their deck off the ground, which is, obviously the point of this. And then mid to late game, you just start overdrawing them 2-1. And then the little tiny bit of life gain keeps you going. So this deck, while not being a very good deck, period, in general, in a vacuum, holy shit does this wreck the top decks. This was built to generally beat the field. And it does. So if you look at the deck list, you're like, this is some gimmicky garbage and it's not a good deck, but I just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. And I keep pulling off these wins like, wow, they couldn't get anything going and then I beat them. Oh, they just couldn't get anything going and then I beat them again. Oh, they just couldn't get their deck off the ground and I beat them again. Oh, I just got rid of the couple things that needed to beat me and then I beat them again. It's like, yeah, this deck was designed to beat the tier 1 meta. So that's why I'd recommend you guys check it out. So fun deck, but I know somebody's going to ask about these. We've got Nuisance, Unbeatable, and well, that kind of speaks for itself. So let's look at Nuisance. It's Shadow Spear, Hushbringer, Pacifism. So we got, Negate, we got Banishing Light, we got Gideon, we've got Prison Realm, we've got Teo, we've got Charmed Sleep, Eyes Everywhere. Love that card. We've got Nadir Kraken, Wincon, we've got Counterspell, Dovin, because why not? He's just a distraction, honestly. Teferi, because every deck that runs these colors should run Teferi. Then we got Pro White and Pay to Swing at Me. Love that card. More people should play it. Board Wipe, Pin Down, Stone Coil, because almost every deck in the world should run that. And then Thassa's Intervention, because it's hilarious, and then just buttload of lands. So 75 cards at the moment because I know Mill is coming. So I just pre-prepped it for that. This is just control. And you guys are familiar. Duck and cover. That's the concept. Get out a Big Giant Flyer, which the Big Giant Flyer is a Kraken on the ground. I never said it was perfect, okay? Archon of Absolution is probably what you try to win with. Dungeon Geist, you can swing for 3, I mean, whatever. Stone Coil, there's your other duck. Whatever, it has trample. Might as well be flying. Pretty weak duck and cover deck, didn't work very well. It has maybe a 30-40% win rate, but this was made to stop Companion, which, well, have you seen Companion lately? So gave up on that one. Then we said this one. A lot of people have been buzzing about this one, but I've only trimmed it down to 77 cards, which honestly, Mill is coming. Who gives a shit? But this is the counter deck, the Hexproof Counter Preserver deck. The one thing you don't want to do is run above 60 cards when it's an Ozolith deck, because then even going to 61, you are now diffusing the Ozolith every single draw. So it's cumulative across the entire time. So if I gave a shit and if the deck worked, I would trim it down to 60. The fact that I haven't should be very telling. This deck tried to do too much. It just cannot be moved to 60 without dropping an entire concept. And if it does, it creates a tragic weakness that's weak against one of the major tier 1 decks. So we got a Death Toucher. It really needed that. It's got Shadow Spear because it needs life gain. Ozolith, duh. Negate because, people are going to try and blow shit up and whatever. Paradise Druid, hexproof ramp. Is you need that. Wildborn, it's got flash. It's kind of a removal because you can flash it in and kill a 3-1 or something. You can bait them into swinging, unopposed. And then late game, you can drop counters onto him. He is an infinite counter generator, actually. Then Nadir Kraken, counter generator, flood generator. He brings out a token, makes himself bigger. Then we got Counterspell, duh. Evolution Sage, just one simple little, land equals proliferate. It's not really what the deck does, but by the time he comes out, you probably have some stuff with some counters. Then we got Hydra's Growth because, come on, you want to generate counters, this is the way to do it. Unfortunately, there's so damn much control, the card's barely playable. That said, unopposed against a Stonecoil Serpent, you're looking at like a 2-swing win. Which, Embercleave and Torbrand are a turn 1/8 of 1 turn wins, so, this would be a disgusting card if there was a little bit less control. But even then, it made it into this deck because, my God, if you don't have a way to get rid of Stonecoil, you're dead. If you don't have a way to get rid of Hydroid Crisis, you're dead. If you can't get rid of Hydroid, you're dead. It is a deadly, deadly card. So if they were dumb enough to burn all their removal or something, there's gone. Even on Iron Scale Hydra. You slap it on anything in this deck. There's too many cards that it works with, so of course I kept it. Then we got Crystalline Giant. The absolute disgrace. Ozolith's best buddy. This thing is out of control. It's completely unreliable too, but whatever. It either just launches into space with like, hey, I've got First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. I hope you can overrun this and lose a creature every swing, because, hi, here I am. Then we got Beast Whisper because I needed draw, so I just threw him in, cast a creature, get a card. Vivian for the force fighting and the counters. Just seemed fitting. Iron Scale because it literally cannot be destroyed by damage. Then we got the Great Henge because I needed life gain and card draw, and well, there you go. And Stone Coil because it's a game winner and counters. Counters plus, you guys saw this thing took out Heliod. Yeah, I made him not indestructible and then just ate him. Then we got Voracious Hydra. Mountains of counters, and then Hydroid Crisis. So I've seen better versions of this deck that are tighter, but they run almost no control. They have like no counter spells, no death touch. They just rely on doing what they're going to do. Well, good luck winning with creatures in today's meta. It is not going to happen. Sorry. Also, this is just playing one entire turn behind your opponent. And, right now you cannot have this. This is completely unacceptable to have 7-8. So I intended to trim it down. It's not done yet, but it doesn't work. So I got rid of it. It's that simple. In order to get rid of 17 cards, I would have to get rid of all the counter spells or all of the ramp. And then the deck isn't the same deck. It will not work. But having a 77 card deck with the Ozolith in it also doesn't work because you do not want to diffuse it. So the deck, it just doesn't work. It has too many blind spots. You got to fill them. You needed to do too many things and then it just collapses, gets too big. Then we got, this is just me getting absolutely pissed off. It's down to 63 cards. It's got 1 Shadow Spear. It could have 0, but I just thought, it's nice to use its ability. This deck runs almost no creatures. So we got Counterspell, discard, discard. Your choice too, by the way. Hate that card. Can't wait for that to cycle. Counterspell, discard, discard, insanely overpowered, obnoxious card. Windcon remover. Got rid of somebody's Zenith Flare with this. That was fun. Crystalline Giant, because why the hell not? Mythos, so I can clone the best thing in play, no matter what type of permanent it is. More people need to play this. Ritual of Soot, because the only thing they're going to resolve early game consistently are things that are mana cost or less. By the time it's above 3, I'm going to counter it, kill it, whatever. Then we got Nightveil Predator. I mean, Flying Death Touch hexproof. Are you kidding me? That solves every problem in the meta right now. Can't be targeted. It's almost impossible to get rid of. It has Death Touch, it can stop anything, and it's in the air. I mean, this is the ultimate stop sign right here. Then we got Ashiok, unlimited creature generation on a plus. That was a bit of a mistake. And then I can bounce them back to hand if I really want to. And then they exile a card from their hand. So if that's the only thing, yeah, it's gone. That's removal. And then -7 is all right. Mostly to sit there and +1 and then, bait them into swinging at her as if she's some kind of threat. I would say she, because purple, the way she's dressed, but they claim it's a genderless construct or something. I don't know, whatever. Sounds like a dude in the game to me. Anyway, then we got Liliana because, passive sacrifice. She's virtually impossible to stop. They would literally have to have 3 creatures in play to even dream of hitting her. And by that point, she's already at such high loyalty, who cares? So, yeah, ridiculous. And -9 just literally wins the game. So then we got Stonecoil Serpent, because of course we do. And then Finale of Eternity for removal. So you might think, well, what's the central theme of this? Nothing. Just every type of control ever, with a little bit of life gain and big, giant, scary creatures that can win the game by themselves. That's it. So it's like duck and cover without the cover. I mean, yeah, you got counter spells, but it's not a true duck and cover deck. So this actually worked pretty damn well, but I liked the early game disruption so much that in the games that it didn't show up, I did a lot worse. And that's why I added Ritual of Soot, because people kept sneaking in a bunch of, real quick crap. We had Night Tribal, cycling decks, and any kind of red rush or red hybrid color rush. So those decks were getting past me pretty good. Point removal wasn't doing it. Nightveil wasn't going to stop them. Ashy Larry wasn't going to stop him. I'd die first. And then just hitting him with discard after was stupid. So unless I could really wreck their opening hand and go first, it was like, yeah, they could outspeed me against the wrong deck. And then Arena kept sending me up against the same decks over and over and over once they figured out what this deck loses to, because that's what it does, in my opinion, and from thousands of games of me testing it. So then I just built, no. I'm like, why don't we just keep it real simple? Just do this. Just, not even double down, but like quadruple down on the early game disruption. A lot more like hand pick mixed with blind, getting rid of. And then anything that resolve I could probably actually deal with, chump block, a little bit of kill spells, a little bit of force sacrifice for the, big stacks of stupid hexproof mutate creatures, which you want to talk about a weakness. Jeez. Unless they're generating 3/3 beast tokens, they're going to lose it, because every one of these effects is sacrifice except for one. So, I mean, this really works. It's not like the most innovative deck ever. It's just, you're going to get wins with it. So if you're just looking for easy wins against, net decking douchebags, I would recommend running this one. So deck list in the description. There's probably room for improvement. I literally built this 3 hours ago, but I was so excited about it. I kept getting win after win after win, and you guys saw the footage. I mean, it's ideal footage, but it's the first 2 games I played to record footage. didn't take long to get some really good footage, did it? Must be a good deck. So if you're just looking for something real simplistic to get, black spells with, kills, a lot of the targets in the day, even land drops, it does a lot of those. It's just a land drop heavy deck, really. Yeah, I would run it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.